Anyone who fishes Chesil a lot knows how fickle it can be, which is why it's often referred to as the beach of broken dreams. Although I won't put out any videos with no fish in them, I also won't cover up for any poor sessions. This video is therefore a compilation of a number of sessions at the Masonic Carpark stretch at the Portland end. I'm here in the hope of catching rays, so my gear and bait reflect that. Sand eels are the top fish bait, but I've also got anchovies, squid and sprats. Some ragworm in case it's really hard and I'm fishing for anything at all. I couldn't source any lugworm, however worm baits aren't the primary choice for fishing for rays. I could have also brought mackerel and bluey, however anchovies are a good substitute for those. The Colmic 07 rods are perfect for Chesil and they're held up quite high. In one or two of my previous Chesil videos I've pointed out the problem of getting shingled. In my first session I'm fishing with a loop rig with sand eel on the bottom of snood and ragworm on the top. My other rig is an all-out big fish up and over rig. My first session was in mid-December. It's bitterly cold, so I've got plenty of layers on. Blonde rays are the main target species. Apparently it's usually better for them in January, but they have been shown already in December. Sometimes the beach can be packed with anglers attempting to try and catch them, but at other times, like this session, the beach is deserted. Before I cast out my second rig, I'll run through the locational details. For the regional setting, you could check out my previous Chesil videos. The Masonic Carpark stretch is at the deep end or the Portland end of Chesil. Here I'm showing its location in relation to the other deep water marks. The ferry bridge section is very well known, then you've got Checkpoint or Ham Roundabout. Chesil Cove is at the far end and the Masonic Carpark stretch is between Checkpoint and Chesil Cove. Zooming in on the area, I'm pointing out some of the named marks. The car park itself is at Victoria Square roundabout, just as you're approaching Portland. Most anglers head for one of the spots in the direction of Checkpoint. There's not much to choose between them, but locals will know where all the snags are. If you're not a local, like myself, then it can be a bit hit and miss, particularly if you only fish during the day. I've identified the exact locations where I fished for this video. I don't have anyone to thank or blame for choosing these, since I like to find and try out new spots for myself. Although I'm slightly protected from the strong northeasterly, bitterly cold winds, I still need to protect my hands and put on further clothing. I get an early indication, which is a good sign. It was only a little knock, but I'm getting prepared to try and hit it. I don't think it's a ray. Most ray bites are likely to be slack liners. After striking, I do feel a small fish on. Well, it's only pouting, but at least it's avoided a blank. Not surprisingly, it's on the top snood of a loop rig, therefore it's taken ragworm. Immediately after recasting, I get another bite, this time slightly better rattle. That bite seemed pretty unmissable to me. Whiting this time, and once again on ragworm. It's a fairly decent size, so I'm not disappointed with that. It's so cold I'm having to protect my ragworm. That goes in my bait bag. No sign of rays, but at least there's fish here. However, I'm not hitting all my bites. Some of the fish come off on the way in. Here I'm clipping up a chunk of anchovy on my upper nova rig. Unfortunately, the only bait the fish seem to be attacking at the moment is a ragworm. If I was just using my normal 3-hook clip-down rig, I'd be bagging up on small fish. Unfortunately, there's another fish that's come off on the way in. I then get my first bite on the anchovy. Although it wasn't a good drop back, I have connected with the fish. Unfortunately, it's not a ray, but dogfish. That's another half decent whiting. This time though, it's taken the sand eel. There was another bite on a big fish rig. Unfortunately it's not a big fish, but yet another whiting. This one's a bit smaller, but's managed to swallow a big chunk of anchovy. I haven't just been fishing anchovy on that up and over rig. I have tried sprat and squid combo, and also sand eel and squid wrap. I've had bites and small fish on all of these, but no interest from the rays I was hoping for. Well, that was quite a busy and productive session, but it didn't produce the intended fish. My next session was in mid-January and was pretty similar to the first one, only this time strap congers replaced the dogfish. Unfortunately, the video footage got corrupted, so I've got nothing to show. The beach was a lot busier and I did see 2 blonde rays caught, one about £3, one about £5. Then followed 3 blank sessions when I didn't get a bite at all, and neither did anyone else on the beach. So the only footage I'm showing from those sessions are the rigs that I used. These were all with big fish in mind, so I wasn't scratching around for tiny fish. This time though, even ragworm on a loop rig didn't get any bites. The fish just weren't there. I was back in April, still fishing with rays in mind. Talking to other anglers, a few had been caught the night before, but daytime was a struggle again, and the only thing that showed was a spider crab. In my book, sand eel and squid strip bound together is the best bait for rays. However, I couldn't get any interest from any. Spider crabs could be a nuisance in late spring and summer, but there don't appear to be that many around this year. My last session, before giving up on the ray fishing, was in early June. Blonde rays are still present this time of year, and you can also catch undulates. However, with very clear water and bright sunshine, it wasn't going to be easy to catch anything. The only people on the beach were a couple of anglers spinning for bass closer to Chesil Cove. I've still set up with one rod fishing for big fish with mackerel, and the other rod with a 3-hook clip-down rig with ragworm. I thought there might be a chance of bream, but it's probably too early in the year for that. Clear water and warm temperatures suggested that mackerel could also be present, and a few anglers turned up later in the day, specifically targeting them. It soon became apparent there was no fish willing to feed on the bottom, so I'd have to do something else to try and get a bite. I ruled out float fishing, that seemed to be better later in the year, so I set up an earth rig to fish tiny bits of mackerel up in the water. To the bar I've attached about 12 foot of mono with a size 10 fine wire hook and 2 floating beads. For me, this is a last resort method and I hardly ever use it. I'll be casting it out at various distances in the hope of catching a mackerel. If that doesn't work, then I'll have to resort to feathering. I've given up on big baits, but I'm still using the 3-hook clip down rig with ragworm. It's now just about avoiding another blank. With no bites on conventional methods, I had to resort to feathering. After a couple of chucks I did feel something take. So a lone mackerel saves the day, and it looks like I'll be leaving it until next January to try and catch a ray. In order to get one, your best bet's usually at night, or you've got to wait till the water colours up after a storm.